Hello, I'm Cindy Arenberg, Seltzer, President and CEO of the Children's Services Council of Broward County. Welcome to another edition of Future First, Focus on Broward's Children. One of the toughest transitions that children face is the one associated with their middle school years. Seemingly overnight, they rebel against what was engaging in elementary school, and yet they're still too young for the independence afforded to their high school peers. Often, as parents, teachers, and caregivers, we're not quite sure what to do with them at this stage of their lives. This is when identities are forged. Bullying and peer pressure can have a lifelong impact, and dabbling in risky behaviors can sometimes seem alluring. That's why the Children's Services Council funds Youth Force. Force meaning friends, opportunities, resources, counseling, and education. It's a set of programs that provide at-risk middle school students with year-round services designed to improve self-esteem, develop skills, and increase access to community resources that support current and future success. Here to talk about these programs are Kimberly Irwin, Education Program Coordinator at the Center for Hearing and Communications, Fabiola Duncan, Program Coordinator for the A.B.L.E program at the Urban League of Broward County, and Jamie Wood, Youth Force Team Leader at Memorial Healthcare Systems. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This age group is really tough. They don't have to go to an after-school program. Their parents think, that's not money I want to spend. So to keep them coming back, you really have to work at it. Jamie, I want to start with what you're doing at Memorial to really keep these kids engaged.
Sure, absolutely. Our program's located down at Gulfstream Middle School, and with their motto, it's every child, every opportunity, every time. So we're really trying to actively engage all of our students, from the high-level performing students that are in robotics or in STEM, to our basketball players, to our sports kids, to the kid who really isn't actively involved in anything. There's something for everyone down at our program in Youth Force in Gulfstream. So what we're doing, we've decided we're going to do Club Fridays, and we've actually been able to leverage some funds out in the community. With our robotics grant, we've gotten some funding from NASA. With our STEM program, we've been able to actively engage girls with the Girls Get It. So that's really linking them into STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and really getting them excited about those particular topics.
I love when our money generates more money and community collaboration. It makes it go so much further, which is fabulous.
Yes, absolutely. We've also been able to work with Flippany. They're doing a fitness running clinic with some of our students every Friday, and we're going to be doing a fun run in January on Hollywood Beach at 7 a.m. So we're going to get these kids out in the community running on the beach, a 5K. So we're excited about that. We're also doing Cooking Matters with Flippany, and they actually just did a demonstration at our parent meeting last evening. We had 55 parents come out, so they got to see a nutritious and healthy snack as opposed to, chips or candy bars or whatnot.
And that's a time when so much of the body self-image is being developed. So that nutrition and fitness is a key component to many of the programs. And that family engagement piece, that's something that A.B.L.E really takes on in a good way. Can you talk about that, Fabiola?
Yes, at the Urban League, we have several components or different areas, of course, in the areas of housing, jobs, health, and nutrition. We support our families by basically with the case managers going out, meeting with the participants, meeting with their families. Our goal is to not just help the student, but also help the families as a whole. So through our agency, we're able to reach out to those different resources because of the different programs that we have so that we can help the whole family as a whole. So that's one of the components that I think really benefits our program and our kids because they like the fact that we're not just focused on the kids. And of course, with our program, we have the academic services, we have life skills, we have the community service projects component. So with all of that just for the child, we like the fact that we can reach out to the families too to get them more involved with what the child is doing and let the families know that we care about them and their success and the impact that we can have with them holistically.
And that community service piece is really critical in all of these programs, and it's a big part of one of the mandatory components, which is TOP. Who wants to talk about TOP?
Sure. I love the teen outreach program, I think it's great that it was implemented, I guess, a year ago. We started, focusing on healthy decisions and healthy relationships and self-image and building confidence within these youth. And the community service part, I think, is so important because along with, it allows the children to design think of the program or what the service project they want to do from the ground up. I think when they plan it, when they pick what they want to do, they're much more involved than if just a staff member or adult is telling them, you're going to do this on Saturday morning. It's great, and I think it really helps. And I think, along with the team working and the team building that it gives these kids, it also gives them a sense of belonging to the community. We worked at the food pantry on Broward, and we worked in the pantry itself, and they served the hot meals to the hungry, and it really touched a lot of the kids. And some of the kids remember when they were younger going to that shelter to receive food, and so it was like an all-around, great opportunity for the kids, and I think that's important.
Yeah, the benefit that TOPS has with our kids, of course, is the fact that they're able to take ownership, and it definitely builds their leadership skills. I love the fact, and of course the kids say this too, that the facilitators don't really have much to do with it. It's primarily the children, which is awesome. And last year we did a project. The kids, of course, coined it "Loose Change to Make a Change," and they had a huge fundraiser dance at their school. They did posters, they advertised to the community. Of course, it was open to the entire school, and they raised like over $1,600.
Wow.
And and they raised $1,600, and we were able to purchase a lot of items to do home care packages for the homeless. And on National Volunteer Day, we had a lot of volunteers come out and help the kids do packages, and then we donated the packages to a homeless shelter. So the kids really enjoyed that. They had a lot of fun. They were able to, after that, watch a movie on homelessness. They researched on homelessness. They did facts on their posters. It was really good. And the learning aspect is awesome too, because they not just do the project, but they learn about it, so they're able to discuss it afterwards. So that's a really good thing about TOP program.
That's a great point you make about that, because with the Wyman TOP program, you're talking about the planning, the action, reflection, celebration, and at the end, the students really with the facilitator, reflect on what they've learned and really celebrate, it wasn't just a one-time thing. They actually were in it from the beginning, in the middle, in the end, and they get to look at what they've learned and share that with their families and community members.
And there's something the facilitator, I was just being told this yesterday, where the facilitator is supposed to bounce it back.
Right, instead of a teacher in the front of a classroom just lecturing to the kids, it's more of engaging them with the ideas, and then they're the ones that actually provide the information back, and that's how the lesson works. So it's nice.
Absolutely.
No
and
judgment.
It gets them more engaged, and there's hands-on activities that go with each lesson, so they're not just sitting there. They're walking around the room, going to different tables, doing different activities to reinforce what TOP taught. So I think it's great.
One of the things, I spend a lot of time in my office and in meetings, but every once in a while I get to go out and actually experience the programs, and it's the best part of my job. And recently at our Lights On After School, I got to see the young people from the center performing, and it really touched me. This is a group of kids who have hearing impediments, could really be targets for bullying, and they took that issue on. Tell us a little bit about that.
They did. We do focus on bullying and anti-bullying a lot because it's so close to home for these kids. And one of the touching things with SunServe comes out and does different workshops, and they, it's like, who has been bullied in the room? And every youth raises their hand. And how does it make you feel? And they were very real with their answers. Sad, lonely, isolated, angry. And so we've really picked up on that and have tried to, take it further. And we did a anti-bullying mural at South Plantation High School. It's huge, and from the ground up, they designed the mural, they painted it. We had a dedication ceremony for the principal and unveiling. It was very awesome. And now we've gone into a whole performance piece with it, of doing different songs and performing it in ASL. It captures the audience. Every time we perform it, I think everybody's in tears. There's not a dry eye. We performed at the lights on after school, and we performed yesterday in front of all the principals for Broward County. And they were so proud of themselves, and also builds a self-confidence that they, wow, I just performed in front of 400 people and I got a standing ovation. So I think it's great. The kids love it. They are so proud of themselves, and I was telling you earlier, they're ready to get a tour bus and go on the road.
Go on the road.
Yeah.
That building of self-esteem, I think, is so vital at this stage. We're seeing, the research is showing that the prevalence of suicidal ideation and bad self-esteem, risky behaviors is on the rise in middle school in a way that just blew my mind. I just never thought of kids at that, that stage, thinking that life is not worth living. How are you addressing that?
I think technology has really, over the top, the last 10 years, really taken our students, our community, to a whole new level that we never knew growing up. We didn't have cell phones, we didn't have Facebook, Twitter, some of these other websites that I don't even know what they are, but I think that really has an effect on kids. And now it's not, you're not just calling someone on the phone. Some stuff is being posted on Facebook and all these other websites that these kids are on, and it's really heartbreaking and sad for some of these kids. So these are issues we're definitely addressing through the top curriculum and in some of our other social skills and life skills groups.
Yeah, they don't realize the consequences, of posting these pictures on the internet or, on their cell phones, pictures. I don't think they realize the consequences that, these their actions have.
Absolutely. And going back to what you were saying about self-esteem, and kids are really trying to start developing their positive or self-body image, kids are posting maybe inappropriate things online, and like you're saying, they're not really knowing what the consequences that's going to be, which can be a pretty serious consequence here in Broward County with the school system and legal system.
And kids can be cruel. I mean, I remember even back when I was a kid, you were cruel, but you said it to me and then it was done.
Right.
Now you say it and it could live out there forever and be, sent over and over and over again.